Fokungshan Philippines presents The Buddha Way. Our hosts, Mads and Johanna.
Omitofo! We are back!
So, Johanna, how has the year of the rabbit been for you so far?
Well, it's been great, and I started it right by celebrating my Chinese New Year here in Manila. And how about you, Mads?
Oh, yes, we were together, remember? It was indeed a happy Chinese New Year for everyone. Especially, it's nice to see that there are a lot of people who came in, not just Chinese ones, but also Filipinos and friends from other countries.
That's right, and I really hope our listeners have been enjoying the new year as well. And they say that because it is the year of the rabbit, those born in the year takes on the characteristics of the rabbit: productive, hardworking, very friendly. So, all you rabbits out there, make the most out of your year.
Oh, yes. So, all the best to you all. Now, Johanna, last time we had Professor Lenny Garcia interview Master Miao Jing about Fo Guangshan.
Yes, and we learn a lot about FGS, but it seems we have a lot more to know about FGS and humanistic Buddhism.
That's true. That's why we are doing this second airing of our show as a sequel to that interview.
Yes, and so without much more ado, let us welcome back Professor Lenny and Master Miaoting.
Good evening, everyone. We have here with us once again the head abbess of Foguangshan, Philippines, Master Miao Ching. Good evening, Shifu.
Ji Xiang, good evening to Professor Glacia and all. Omitofo!
Master, maybe we should start by explaining to our listeners what this greeting means, Omitofo.
Omitofo is the Buddhist term for bountiful light and bountiful longevity. So when we say Omitofo as a greeting to others, we meant to bless others with hope and with help.
I see, Master. Are there other basic rituals or etiquettes that Buddhists follow?
We practice and we play. So practicing including what we do every day, how do we walk, how do we eat, live, and travel. So these are the four aspects in our everyday life that we do this, and be mindful of every actions and speech, including thoughts especially. In terms of rituals, we have a prayer. As at for one son, we have regular Saturday evening prayer. For the prayer, we would first invite the Buddha Bodhisattva and all the Dharma protector to attend the ceremony together with us who are present. We would chant to the Buddhist scriptures, so that is like the words from the Buddha himself as we chant through it in the Buddhist tone, Buddhist hymns, and so that has the effect of helping us to calm our mind in listening to the content. Then lastly, we would transfer all the merits, whether to ourselves, our own family, or our past ancestor, those who have deceased. And so the prayer itself has a have a double thought meaning. First is blessing for the living, and second is the merit for the deceased. So most of our prayer, that's especially important for the Saturday evening because we have invite not just us at a particular locations, but all around the world because there are about 200 chapters around the world. And so all of us would do the prayer at the same time on Saturday evening. So for 24 hours, because day and nights are different from southern and northern hemisphere, that we have this chantings to the Buddha's name. Omitofo, Mitofo, 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 Mitofo.
Yes, Shifu. I would like to remind our listeners that Master Miao Jing is the head abbess of the Fo Guangshan. And so I would like to know Master, if the rituals and the prayers that you've just mentioned, are they specific to Fo Guangshan or do all Buddhists do them?
Chantings to the Buddha's name is a practice, one of the practice in Buddhism, and it is common in the Buddhist community. But in terms of the tone and in terms of the rituals and the ceremony, it will be different. Difference in terms of the durations, difference in terms of the time, and difference in terms of the objective and meaning. But at Fo Guangshan, we have Saturday evening, and that was practiced since Venerable Master um, times 40 years ago in the very beginning of Fo Guangshan. It is also to mention. It is also interesting to note that Yilan was the original place where Venerable Master propagate Buddhism, and so it has received heavy rainfall. Out of 365 days, it actually rains for 360 days. But however, on the Wednesday and the Saturday that we have this chanting service, the rain would stop. It might rain at 3 o'clock, but at 6:30, as people are coming in, getting ready for the 7 o'clock service, the rain would stop. And so it always left a fresh piece of air for everyone in the evening.
Yes, Master. Ilan, however, is in Taiwan, right? Which is the home of Fo Guangshan. So I'm wondering, uh, can you say similar things happen here as an effect of the chanting here in Manila?
When we are happy, we clap our hands or we smile and laugh. So when the Buddha and the Bodhisattva or the one who received our merits, they got happy, they show us signal or sign. Say for example, usually after a chanting sections or usually after a blessing ceremony, the sky would begins to rain or it would showers. So say the last time when we are doing our foundation laying ceremony here at Mabuhay Temple, these very locations, when we were beginning to build the place, we have this foundation laying ceremony, and during the ceremony, the whole area, just in this same lot, it rained heavily. But outside the lot, outside the boundary, it was clear and it was sunny. So that was what we say sign that those who we want to transfer the merit has received it, and that's their way of expressing their joy.
So it is actually a very effective way of getting what you want. Okay, Shifu, since we are in a country that's predominantly Christian, do you see any similarities between the religious holidays of the Christians and the Buddhists? And also, I'd like to ask if there are such similarities among the Buddhists and the Muslims.
The Buddhists celebrate to the founder's birthday. Our founder of Buddhism is Sakyamuni Buddha. That is usually for the 8 days of the lunar month. And usually that is in May. And so every year in May, we would be celebrating that not just at the temple, but across Manila and across the world. Because again, we are an international monastery order. So we will celebrate to Sakyamuni Buddha's birthday. We also at the same time celebrate to Omitofo and Medicine Buddha's birthday, because these are the two Buddhas where their pure lands are closest to us. It's just like neighbors. So we know them and we know them well. That's why we also celebrate to acknowledge that they have been caring for us as a respect. Then other celebrations, we would also remember the Sangha Day and the Dharma Day. So these are the triple gems celebrations that we have in the three important days of Buddhist community. Then other than that, Guan Yin Bodhisattva, also known as the goddess of mercy or compassion, she has been caring for a lot of us, especially here in the Eastern culture or in China and Japan. So Guan Yin Bodhisattva has always cared, and she makes the vows to always answers to prayer. So we celebrate not just to her birthday, but also to her enlightenment and her renunciations, being wanting to help and benefiting others.
So what you're saying, Shifu, is we do have similar holidays. All the Christians would celebrate also the birth of Christ, and I believe that Kuan Yin, being the goddess of mercy, is very similar to the Christian idea of Mother Mary, who is also the intercessor for the Christians. All right. Now, turning to the more philosophical side of Buddhism, what would you say is the most important thing to learn in it?
The core teachings of the Buddha has four characteristics. It evolved universal, it is eternally true, it is inevitable, and it's true from the very beginning. And so here in the Dharma seal, the three Dharma seal is the basic of what we practice upon and we follow as guideline. So the first, the Buddha told us that all phenomena are impermanent, that things change and is always changing for the better. That's why he encouraged us to think positive and to open to changes. Second, he said that all phenomena have no self. And so we have to think of, for all success to come together, it has to be good conditions coming together. And we do not always think of self as the most important person or self as the only conditions for one's success. That's why we have to always be reminded of that things have non-self. Lastly, when we understand in terms of space, in terms of time, that impermanence and non-self comes together, then we would reach the ultimate nirvana or attain this perfect tranquility, that we are no longer affected by the external circumstances or others and be emotional.
Yes, Shifu. Regarding the no self, a lot of people believe that when you say no self, that there is no more individuality and that a person cannot anymore say I am. But I know that this is not the case. So could you expound some more on the idea of the absence of the self and its connection to the idea of emptiness?